Hello, I'm Dick Shepherd and welcome to this BBC Rock Hour special. Now on the BBC Byline, let's join this week's Rock Hour host.
Hello, this is Sylvie Simmons in Hollywood, California. Last month I went to Seattle, Washington, where I spoke with Ann Wilson of Heart. I'd been told that the family that plays together stays together, so among other things I asked Ann about the third Wilson sister, Sue, who sings on the song This Man Is Mine from the latest Heart album, Private Audition. What's your sister doing on this album, Anne? Has she been on any before?
Yeah, she was on Little Queen and Magazine and Dreamboat Annie. And this particular song we were doing with her, This Man Is Mine, it's kind of a takeoff on a Motown girl song, you know, like the Marvelettes or one of those old, the Crystals or something, Ronettes. And so we thought, well, what better thing to do than to get our sister up, because she, you know, she has an untrained but really nice voice and it blends with ours really well. And she isn't doing anything with music. She and her new husband have a restaurant on the Oregon coast, real close to my place, as a matter of fact. She welcomed the break from the kids, I think.
What would you say is the general feel of this album? Is it rockier than usual?
Well, it's real diverse, really diverse. It's more novelty type songs on it than we've ever had before. It's dangerous, especially for a woman, to try and be funny, you know. I can't think of many other examples of novelty songs that have really succeeded outside of people like the Beatles or Randy Newman, or I don't know, just a handful of others. They aren't as extreme as any of those, but they're just not. They're songs that are unlike any we've ever done, you know. But hell, you know, we can't just sit around and do the same old thing. You know, we have to turn over the sod, and we kind of thrived on fear in a way. You know, Jimmy Iovine loved it. I really mean hated it, you know, like, you know, he just didn't hear a hit in a lot, you know. This isn't going to sell, I want hits, you know. And that's, of course, you know, that's what a musician wants to hear, or what an artist wants to hear. So the album is highly diverse. To me, I think we have a couple of hit singles on it. You know, like, I don't know if they'll be as big as number one or anything, but I know they'll get play. They'll get a lot of play. And that's good enough for me. There's one called Private Audition, the title song. It's kind of got a tap dance type feel to it, you know. Private Audition. And then there's This Man Is Mine, kind of a Motown thing. We've never done that before, really. Closest we've come to that is Straight On, I suppose. And there's one big ballad called Perfect Stranger that's just like big. It's just this huge Crimson and Clover type. Oh no, it isn't like that really. It's just like bum 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 bum, you know.
Do you think you've made the definitive Heart album yet?
Definitive meaning, well, how do you define something that always changes, you know? Like, that's the problem I have with that. I don't think we have yet. Most everybody I know, though, would say Dreamboat Annie, because that was our first and biggest, you know. But my favorite one was Babe Was Strange, just because we had the biggest hand in it, and I think the songs were the best, and it was just the most fun, you know. My least favorite one is, I think probably, well, I don't even count Magazine, because that one was brought out without our consent, you know, before it was ready. I think my least favorite is Little Queen. There's some good songs on it. Barracuda. I can't stand Kick It Out. Just cannot stand that song. I don't know. That's weird to say because I wrote it all by myself, but that's just like, you know, I really don't like it. I know I can't go to everyone's house and go over the groove.
Nice.
Yeah. Don't listen to this again.
What about the song America?
It's called America, and it's not patriotic in the sense of, like, you know, waving the flag and stuff and saluting. It's a song, it's really a broken-hearted, really sad song, seated in the South. And I suppose it could be sung by either a Southern belle or by a Southern woman from the 60s or something like that. It could be, it talks about some kind of civil war, and it could be any civil war you want, any type of revolution you want, you know, in the country, things going wrong, you know, and don't leave me behind. And it's a song sung by someone that really loves the ground they sprang from, really, not the government or anything like that. But it does sort of call out and go, it mentions Martin Luther King, and not Martin Luther King, it just says King, you know. It's real ambiguous, though, you know. You can't tell exactly when it's placed in time, and you can't tell exactly which slaves they're talking about, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But we're going to tack it on in the end, just as a little, to give them something to think about before they turn out the light, you know.
My daddy told me.
Yeah. She just raised her fist, folks.
Fine, terrific. We'll be in touch.
It's been 10 years this year, Anne. Did you really think that Heart would last this long?
What? I don't think anything, actually, you know, like I think that I was so young. Well, I was 21 when we started, you know, which may or may not seem young to whoever it is who's listening, but anyway, in my case, I was really a very young 21, and I never looked ahead. You know, I didn't have any sense of the future or any overview, you know, and I just went, oh, I'm going to be in this band now, wow, okay. And I suppose it's only recently that I've come to think of how long, you know, it's been and how long will it be. And 10 years has seemed like 10 minutes, really. God, it's really gone fast because we've never stopped moving. But it's impossible to say how much longer it'll keep going, you know, like I know that as long as Nancy and I write songs, we will exist. I don't know if it'll be under the name of Heart or not, you know. I mean, Heart's in good shape at the moment, you know, there's no problem, but people are people, you know, you never know.
Do you find it's less enjoyable now than it was in the early days?
The highs are higher and the lows are lower. You know, like, if we have a really big album this time, I'm going to be really happy, you know? And if we have a really bad album, I suppose I'll be very depressed. But it's just like when you first did your first interview, you probably were all nerves and all really looking forward to it and really dreading it at the same time. But at least you felt the edge of it, you know. I mean, you felt really, okay, I'm really alive, you know. Well, that's how it was at the start. Now we have to work to feel the edge of it, you know. I mean, we have to force ourselves. Like, I have to fast once in a while to make myself feel hungry and not get too comfortable, you know. And that's the problem with it, I suppose. Like, we're looking for stuff that's unusual and or better than what we've done before, or that's great, you know. It you know, it doesn't have to be fantastic, but something at least unusual. And so what it ends up as is me and Sue and Nance writing. But it's not exactly like we run this show. It's just like we're songwriters, you know, I'm kind of born to it. It almost seems like it's not like I'm trying to sort of elbow my way to the front, or Nancy's scared to come around my shoulder or something. It's just the sort of pecking order that has naturally evolved, and the press seems to want to perpetuate. But that's a digression. To answer your question, yes, it is less exciting than it used to be.
Why have you been touring so little? You only did 12 dates last year.
Well, maybe it was because we did 90 the year before, and 100 the year before that, and things like that, you know, and we felt that we were, frankly, tired of touring, you know. And also I felt like we didn't have an album out last year, except the Greatest Hits Live, and so why go out and give the kids what they've already heard, you know. I mean, we have a responsibility to them. If they pay us their money, we give them something back that's worth seeing, you know. And so what we did was we just hit the high spots, and we included Cities Burning and Angels, and tried to get as much new stuff as we could in that was written at the time. And we had to tour, you know, to keep the lights on in the house and stuff. And because we wanted to, really, we didn't really have to. We wanted to, but not that much. I don't like touring in the summer. It's too hot. It's just too hot. It's inhuman. I remember playing in New Orleans last summer. Oh, it was terrible. We were playing in the Superdome with REO Speedwagon, and it was so bad. It was so hot in there that I nearly lost it. There's only one other time when I nearly lost it on stage, and that was in Japan. You know, same thing, summer, really hot and humid. And it's 30 degrees hotter under the lights than it is, you know, anyway. So then you add big physical exertion on top of that, and you can't get a breath because of the humidity. And I mean, Christ, you're talking heat stroke. My first tour out without my boyfriend, my first tour out single, I probably got wilder than I've ever gotten, you know, just like we'd go do the show and I'd come back and I'd be down in the club in a hotel dancing and just drinking it up, you know, and I fell in love every other night, you know, and I'm not trying to insinuate anything shocking or immoral, but you know, I think I was compensating for a lot of years of being married. Yeah. So now I think I've calmed down a bit. You know, I always have fun. On the road, I just have to make sure that everything's in moderation, because my whole gig is my body, you know, my throat, and I can't go wrecking myself. Can't stay up all night. And then look good the next day. Play the next day. And especially me, I've got to carry it, you know. I have to talk to the people and be coherent and not come off like they all want me to, you know, the rose. Mm-hmm. They all expect that. They're all waiting for it, you know. I suppose that's just my own obsession, you know, an obsessive thing. But that's not for me. But you know, at the same time, you gotta live life.
And that was more music from Private Audition, winding up this Rock Hour special with Ann Wilson of Heart. I'm Sylvie Simmons in Seattle, Washington for the BBC Rock Hour. Bye for now.
The BBC Rock Hour special has been brought to you by Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. I'm Dick Shepherd for this BBC Rock Hour special. Until next time, rock on.